Hello and welcome to the channel. Thanks very much for watching. Now, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I don't really want to just produce a straightforward homage of a Sprite or a Hulk or one of those things. So I've gone for a sort of in-between thing. It's a lot like them, but it's not quite the same. So here you can see what I've got. I've got a case. It's not the same as those Sprites and things. It's a bigger case. It's a 44mm case, so it's pretty chunky. And they come with the bezels separated, but obviously I've picked a green bezel for St. Patrick's Day, so there it is. It's a normal bezel, not a GMT one. And here's the dial I'm using. It's a green dial. And it's quite bright. I think it goes well. Just an easy NH35 movement and pretty standard hands. So I've attached the dial. I've already taken the feet off, and now I'm just turning the date wheel to get the hands at a position where it'll be midnight when I install them. Just there. Now, there you go. So that's on midnight, and it's time to put the hour hand on. Fairly straightforward. I just get the hour hand on the 12 o'clock position. Once I position it with a bit of Rodico, and as usual I'll use in this case I think it's a 1.8 diameter hand presser, just to keep it in position while I get the mechanical hand presser involved. That mechanical one is a bit more precise than doing it by hand. It keeps the hand level with the dial, rather than angled down or away from it, up or down away from it. So now I'm just pushing down gently. You just have to try and get it to feel a little click. There you go. And once you've got that click, you know it's on. Just check to make sure that it's on straight. It's not going to touch the dial at any point, and it's all going around quite smoothly. Move around twice, and the date wheel should turn again, and there you go. Now the minute hand. I've set the hour hand at 9 o'clock. I like to put it at 9 or 6. Nearly always 9 on these videos, I noticed with hindsight. Sometimes I use 6 o'clock, but rarely do I put the hour hand at the 12 o'clock position. I don't know. There's something about it just makes it a little bit harder, I think, to get the minute hand on exactly in the right position. Whereas if I see a right angle or a straight line, obviously a straight line if the hour hand's at 6 o'clock, then I find that a little bit easier. Just visually, just for me. It may not work for everyone. So again, I've used to use the hand presser to get the dial in position. I'm swapping the movement onto this special holder, which has got a sort of point right in the exact center of the brass holder there. That makes sure that the center of the dial is directly under whichever hand I rotate. I've rotated the minute hand, the minute presser, and I'm just pushing down on the minute hand now. There you go, that's on now. So now just check that the hands rotate without one touching the other, and it clearly doesn't. Get the hour hand back round to midnight and see if the date changes. I'm also checking that when it hits 6 o'clock it's exactly in a straight line, and when it's 9 o'clock it's a nice right angle. That tells me that the minute hand's on in the right position. And now as I get it towards 12 o'clock, the date is changing. Right, so now it's ready for the second hand. Now in the last video I showed you a bit of detail about how the second hand works, so I haven't gone through the process of showing you my fingers in the way of the lens and everything, and the overhead shot from the microscope. Yes, I've put the movement at eye level, And I've pressed the second hand on, and it's all gone pretty smoothly so far. That was a surprisingly quick one, that one. So now the second hand's moving, it's just a case of putting the movement in the case. So I'm giving the case a bit of a quick wipe, and now I've got to take out the stem, which I've just done. Give a blast of air to the inside of the movement. Sorry, inside of the case, I should say. And slot the case over the dial. Now obviously when you slot the case over the dial, you've got to make sure that the date is exactly under the 3 marker, the 3 o'clock position on the dial. Often there's a cyclops there to magnify the date, so that gets that done. Now detach the crown and attach it to the stem that comes with the movement. And gently reinsert it and see how much I've got to take off. In this case it's just over 5mm to take off. I'm measuring from the inside of the crown to the inside of the case after I've pushed the crown in a bit if it's a spring-loaded crown. Now I'm just releasing the lever I've shown you in the past to get the stem to come out. It comes out very, very easily. If you get a good quality NH35 movement, this is a very easy process. So now it's time to just cut the stem down a bit and see if I can get it right. Now as usual, I don't rely just on my eyes. I like to mark out the 5.58mm in this case. With a felt pen, and if after I've cut the stem with a set of pliers there's still a little bit of blue showing, I know I haven't overdone it, and I should have 1mm or 2 to spare when I try and slot it into the watch. So that gives me a visual cue as to, you know, where exactly to position the pliers. I don't recommend doing it in one go, just cutting it exactly where you think the distance should be. You've only got to be 1mm out and the stem is useless. And then, because if it won't reach inside the watch to engage with the gears, then that's it, that stem won't work. I mean, that said, I do keep plenty of spare stems, so if I do go too far and I cut one too deep, then I've always got another one to fall back on. That's me just having cut the stem to the required length. I'm just taking off the sharp edges to make sure it doesn't damage the crown when I screw the crown on. And I actually cut off a little bit more than I intended with this stem, because I only had to cut it once and it was a perfect fit. Having just said that you shouldn't do that in case you go too far, I sort of accidentally hit it at the perfect spot, so it was only one cut needed on this particular watch. I've now discovered that, and so I've taken it out again, and I'm gluing it. Bit of Loctite, the blue Loctite, not the red. The red's too hard to get off if you've made a mistake or you've got to deal with it in some future way. So a little bit of blue Loctite, put it back on, And at this point, I either wait 20 or 30 minutes before I do anything more, if I've got something else to do, once I've cleaned off the excess Loctite, because obviously you don't want any of that going inside the movement. I either wait 20 or 25 minutes, or when I insert it in the case again, I basically try not to move the crown, give it a chance for the glue to set. It takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes for the glue to set. I'm just wiping off the excess now with a bit of tissue paper, make sure none of that gets inside the movement. Put the Loctite away. You've got to shake the Loctite tube, by the way, before you use it. Right, here we go. The stem is going in, and it's a perfect fit, in fact. So now I'm just taking the gasket off the case, and I'm going to put a bit of silicone grease on it with this handy little device you get from AliExpress. It's $3 or $4. It puts that little bit of extra lubricant on the gasket, which makes it that fraction more waterproof. There it is. So give it a quick wipe. Both sides are done, and the gasket's ready to go on again. This particular case has got a groove in the back case, and the gasket goes in that groove, and it's very easy just to slide on again. You don't have to worry too much about fingerprints. It's not a glass back case. Right, so the case is on. The watch is ready. All I've got to do now is put on the bezel, because it comes with this sort of protective film over the sticky part. And now it's just a case of positioning the bevel at the 12 o'clock mark. In theory, you could just plonk it on anywhere and then rotate to 12 o'clock, but some watches, if they've only got like 60 clicks or something, you can be half a click out. This one's actually got enough clicks, I could have just plonked it anywhere, I think. But I'm still, having made that mistake once, I always make sure that I put the that white triangle point at the 12 o'clock position. I make sure that's exactly over the 12. And it is in this case. Now a quick wipe. And we're nearly done. Oh, it's looking good, isn't it? I did remove a screw from the case, from the bracelet, to make it a bit easier to work on. And now I'm just putting it back. And once I do, the watch is ready. Here it is. Not a Sprite, not a Batman, not even a Starbucks. Just something sort of in between. Nice big case and a bright green watch for St. Patrick's Day, which I'll be giving away to somebody in the comments column as usual. So if you like the watch, please make a comment and watch out for my reply, because one of the replies will be, do you want the watch? And if you do, I'll give you the email address. It's just hoursofendlessfun@mail.com. Just send me your address, whether you're UK, USA or Australia or anywhere else indeed. Just send me your address and I'll send it to you free of charge, not even the postage. And yeah, whoever gets it, I hope you enjoy it. Here I've just gone through the functions, just a case of, first pull winds up the watch, and then one more pull moves the date if you turn the crown anti-clockwise, and then another pull moves the hands to the correct position. When you're turning the date, keep the hour hand between 9 and 3, then you can't damage anything, of course. And then just tighten the case, tighten the crown to make it waterproof. There you go. I hope you like the watch. And thanks very much everybody for watching.